We're live.
Hello, and welcome back to Odyssey of the Dragonlords, our D&D 5th edition campaign inspired by Greek mythology. I am Andrew, your game master, and I'm joined by John.
I'm John, and I'm playing Pericles Ziphius, the demigod.
And William.
Hi, I am William, and I am playing Atrica Epiones de Medusa.
And Craig.
Hi, I'll be playing Kedros Drosshelver, the Minotaur Cleric of Vulcan.
And Cody.
Hi, I'm Cody. I'm playing Erevan Nilo, the half-siren rogue.
And for anyone that doesn't watch the Wrath and Glory one, I'm no longer going to be updating the health totals on the overlay because I realized that was too much work for me.
Alright. So when we last left our heroes, they had just rescued the Oracle from the clutches of a hag and cemented their place as the subjects of her prophecy, which they then heard in full. It seems that you must perform 3 mighty tasks in order to prepare yourselves for a confrontation with the twin titans Sidon and Lutheria. So, there are a couple of ways in which this prophecy could be interpreted. It's said a lot, but you might not be entirely certain of what it actually means.
We may also only be partially aware of what it actually said because attention spans were short.
The Oracle Prophecy document is in the handouts.
No,
Yes.
I know. That was Pericles being like...
Okay.
Restatement made last week. Massive himbo energy.
I forgot about the himbo energy that Pericles brings on the regular basis. Something I'll have to keep in mind.
I figured he was a little distracted looking at the other rug that's on the middle of this island, making sure that it also didn't...
Exactly. Very, very aware that there's a second rug.
Every rug for the rest of his life is now going to get a second look.
Fool me 3 times, and I get aware.
First 2 rugs weren't even animate.
What more can you tell me of your sister, Demetria?
The Oracle pauses a moment and... I admit I haven't had much contact with her in a long time. So... Admittedly, that is for good reason, given that she has willingly embraced arts that can only be described as Lutherian in origin.
Do you share both parents or just the one?
Well, she's a dryad, and I'm clearly not, so I'm inclined to say that she is a half-sister of mine.
Of course. Well, I understand the relations have been tense, but do you know where in the Oldswood she is living?
No, I unfortunately do not. But if you do wish to seek her out, I am fairly certain that there will be a way. I don't believe her. Now, that's not going to come from me, because as mentioned, I don't know anything about where she might be now. But have faith. You will find the way you need in time.
Kedros nods and bows his head.
I mean, potentially there will be somebody somewhere along our route that will have more information. If we go to places where there are lots of people that travel from all over the world, then certainly someone will have something to say.
Well, Kyra pipes up at this point. Well, the city of Estoria is almost certainly the best place to start looking.
Sheet.
Oh, right. Forgot about that. I was thinking more that the Horn of Balmitria that was mentioned is reputedly in a reliquary there. Might still be there.
What is this horn? I do not recall the name.
Kyra sticks her hand into her satchel bag and goes fishing up to the elbow in it, and then she pulls out a small scroll that she unfolds, reads for a moment, stuffs it back in the bag. Well, according to that, it's an actual dragon horn that a famed silver dragon lost in battle against the Gigans. It was recovered by the priests of Mitros and then consecrated by the gods. Supposedly, it has considerable magical power, including the ability to grant visions.
Could these visions be something that would lead us to someone in the wooded area whose name I've also forgotten?
The Old Woods?
That one.
Possibly.
As the one who is most knowledgeable about these legends, are you offering to come with us, Kyra?
I wasn't going to offer, I was going to come with you either way.
Yeah, she said from the start.
Excellent.
Kedros is kind of startled into a chuckle by that, but doesn't say anything further.
That is the appropriate spirit to have, yes.
So, what are the chances that we walk into where this horn might be and say, hey, let us have a drink out of that there horn?
And you think that people might stop you?
Are you suggesting that the horn is kept in a bar and is used to drink wine? Because if so, I would like dibs, yes.
No, but she just said that it was taken in by the Temple of Mitros and consecrated. That seems like it wouldn't be just for everybody to take a drink from.
Well, the four of you aren't just anyone, are you? You're the Oracle's chosen now.
Does that have is there some sort of?
I'm still processing that, so I was, and he just kind of still sitting there.
I have never had any amount of reputation really open any doors for me, she says, kind of indicating to her face.
I will teach you all about it. It's actually quite enjoyable.
No, what I'm saying is I don't know if being the Oracle's chosen will actually make it easier for me to go anywhere.
Well, we won't know until we find out, won't we?
Again, that is the correct spirit to have, yes.
Yeah? Unless any of us have more questions, perhaps we should get moving?
Right. If you like, I can fill you in a bit more about things like the weapons of the first Dragonlords and the fires of the Lost Forge along the way.
That would be appreciated.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Sure.
You just wanted to say something, huh?
I felt left out.
Pat's
It's very hard for
my
you when the
shoulder.
conversation passes more than 30 seconds not focused on you, isn't it?
What?
I said it is very difficult for you when the conversation passes more than half a minute without being focused on you.
No, not necessarily. It's just that we were all saying things simultaneously, and I didn't have anything to say, so.
Yes, this reminds me of my children.
Ilea is saved, and Erevin stands up.
Well, not yet,
believe
it
we're-
isn't.
Yes, let's not skip to this celebration before we've done anything, yes?
Yes.
Then off we go!
Yep.
To
All right,
that city.
Astoria.
Yes.
Estoria. I'm going to have to be particularly patient with you, aren't I, Pericles?
That's all me, the player, forgetting things and just letting it ride.
I think it's also very Pericles, the concept of like, look, somebody else is going to chronicle all my exploits. I don't need to write any of this down.
Why would I need to
Okay, no.
remember when a book will be written?
Look,
¿Por qué no los dos?
I have a 10 intelligence and a 14 charisma, and I lean more on the charisma than I do the intelligence.
Right.
Also, I keep wanting to say Astoria, which I know is not right, but
Yeah, that's as I recall, that's very close to Dark Souls or
Yeah.
something similar.
Astora.
Astoria is is a place in Dark Souls.
Ah, yes, I have never darked a soul.
But it is why I keep wanting to say the wrong thing.
All right. So, on your way out of the temple, the older priest of the Oracle, Proteus, intercepts you at the front doors. He's holding a large wooden box in both hands, and he offers it to you as you get closer.
I will take any box offered to me. Also, you're looking much better now that you are not tied up in the corner.
Yes, it helps that we are no longer tyrannized by the Order of Sidon. Perhaps we should hire some.
Really quick, can I get the name of the city that the horn is in, and also the name of the horn, so that I can put it in the notes?
It is the Horn. Oh wait, I'll put it in text just to.
Yeah, just so I can have the spelling.
It's in the city of Estoria as well.
There we go.
Balmitria. Okay. Astoria.
Where was I? Right, Proteus.
I'm looking in a box, apparently.
If you open the box, there are 6 potions of healing inside.
I close the box and pass it to Kedros.
Yes. And he will look at the other two and say, would either of you perhaps prefer to carry some of these with you?
I could take a couple.
I will hand two to Adrian, and I will turn and look at Trika.
Sorry, what are they? I was taking notes.
Healing potions. Bless you.
I could use a couple of these, yes.
Of course. And we'll hand two to her and say, I will hold the other two for when Pericles needs them.
My hands are often
Either.
full. It's not good for me to drink and fight at the same time.
Standard potions of healing?
Yes.
Okay.
Erevin just looks at Pericles and says, as if there are not stories of you doing that exact thing.
Well, that when you're using the horn as a weapon, that is different. You do not want me to throw healing potions at the enemy.
Definitely not.
Or hit them upside the head with it.
He will turn to Kyra and say, for the record, I was not offering them to him.
Kyra and Proteus both look particularly concerned by this exchange. But
Kedros holds up a hand and says, do not be concerned. We each have strengths and we each have weaknesses. And organization is a skill held better by some than others.
It would seem.
I'm
But
not very organized at all. No.
be that as it may, consider that crate a thank you gift from the servants of the Oracle.
It is appreciated, and will likely be put to good use considering the danger we are headed in.
Indeed.
Yes, thank you.
You have my
do
thanks as
have-
well.
I do have two other things to give you. The first was a lucky charm for me for several years now, but it is time for me to pass it on. And he fishes out a gold coin from his pocket and flips it to you.
To whom in particular?
Who's up front?
Me.
Probably Kedros, because he was taking the potions.
I took the potions from him and then immediately handed them to you.
Okay, so then Pericles.
All right. So he flips you flips you a coin, Pericles.
Catch it.
You can
Because
see that it is not made in the same style as the current Thalian coinage. Instead, it carries the face of someone named Xander Huarath on one side, and an engraving of a ship on the other. Also, it glows in your hand a little bit. This is a burnished Dragonlord coin. Anyone who possesses it can speak, read, and write Draconic. Not that you need it.
I can already
Pericles.
do that. I look at it. I flip it over in my hands. This is very nice, and I will just like coin flip it towards Erevan.
Hey, I catch it.
I mean, I wasn't going to make you roll for that, but
I know,
with a
but-
25, you can catch
Yeah.
it with style.
Yeah, he'll catch it. He'll catch it between two fingers and then look it over. There's nothing draconic around, so he can't realize that, or he doesn't realize that he can read draconic yet. So that'll be fun. But yeah, I will add that to his inventory.
That coin was a gift from my predecessor as head of the temple. It was supposed to be used in payment to the Guardian of the Necropolis, but evidently neither he nor I have needed to go there. Keep it safe. Doubtless you will need it yourself.
That'd be useful as the person who supposedly is destined to find a talking bow that likes to be spoken to in Draconic, but oh well.
We'll figure it out.
But my final offering to you is the gift of words. The future of Thalia may be bleak, but there is always hope. And the people of this land will look to your actions as a sign of things to come. Seek neither fame nor fortune, but show them the true meaning of heroism. Make yourselves a beacon of light as we enter this time of darkness, and go with the blessing of this temple. He sketches you a formal bow and passes you by to regroup with the rest of the attendants. As you watch him go, Kyra has one eyebrow that is very much in danger of disappearing into her hair.
If you're not careful, your face will stick that way.
Is there a problem?
I mean, his heart is in the right place, but hear me out. She leads the way out of the temple as she begins speaking. Listen to me. This may be your chance to win fame beyond your wildest dreams. You want fame, right? Of course you do. Everyone does. All great heroes especially. These great labors are only the beginning.
Atrika coughs.
Right, yes. Sorry, Atrika, but maybe you don't, but you get my meaning, right? The path ahead of you is going to be full of opportunity to change things. Status, people, minds, hearts. And if you do manage to truly rise to your fate and confront the Titans, then poets will sing of your deeds for ages to come. And that includes me. That's why I've been writing everything down, so that I can compose an epic about you. But there is one small problem with this idea of being fame chasers. The tricky thing about it is, if you're not careful, one of you might outshine the rest. Then all the stories are going to be about that one person and how strong and valiant they are, and all the rest of you are going to be yesterday's news. There is a solution for this, though. A sacred oath that will bind you together in the spirit of solidarity. That way, when one of you wins fame, all of you share it. And who knows, perhaps the magic of an oath of fellowship will even protect you against some of the dangers that lie ahead. What do you think?
I'm sorry, I stopped paying attention 5 minutes ago. What was going on?
And the oath.
Kyra just sighs, and all of the exuberance and enthusiasm just drains out of her.
There is a heroic oath to be sworn, Patrick.
I swear oaths all the time. What makes this one different?
Presumably a bit of destiny magic.
More specifically, it's so that one of you doesn't outshine the rest.
Trika just kind of laughs a minute, and one of the snakes very specifically turns its head towards Pericles.
Yes, that's exactly why.
Pericles was listening there, but I got distracted and completely missed everything that was just said.
Well, the short version of it is, if you're not careful about how you portray your deeds, one of you may start to be lauded above everyone else, and the Oath of Fellowship that Kyra suggests will prevent that from happening by magically ensuring that you all share in the same deeds, for good or ill.
Seems fine to me.
Sorry, I lost you there?
I said, seems fine to me.
Yes. I'm willing to take this oath.
All right. So, she scribbles down a short sentence and passes it to each of you. I'm going to Slack this to you, because this actually has something that is clear and defined. Come on. Name, of course, is replaced with your own. So,
I am Pericles, and I swear upon my life and my honor that I will uphold the oath of fellowship with the heroes who stand at my side.
I kind of really wanted for a second there to city guard of Ankh Morpork this and the I bracket name bracket comma and
I did a Discworld game, and my character sheet was that oath, just with all the blanks where you fill in your character stats.
I'm
Kedros.
I'm Ervin Nilo, and I swear upon my life and my honor that I will uphold the oath of fellowship with the heroes who stand by my side.
I am Kedros Droshelver, Bellows of Vulcan, and I swear upon my life and my honor that I will uphold the oath of fellowship with the heroes who stand at my side.
Am I supposed to use my full name and title?
I am a
Close.
be on this, and I swear upon my life and my honor that I will uphold the oath of fellowship with the heroes who stand at my side.
Moments after Atrika finishes speaking, there is a faint golden glow around each of you, but it quickly passes. Cairo just looks at Pericles and says, close enough.
Close enough is how I live my life.
Yes.
I mean, in my experience, close only counts in fireballs, but you know.
That does not change my sentence.
Alright. With the Oath of Fellowship sworn, it's roughly an 8-hour journey to the city of Estoria, so you may wish to make camp for the night along the way, unless you want to.
I'm definitely up for making camp.
Yes, I would suggest, if such a thing would be possible, perhaps we should rest here and set out first thing in the morning. We are wearied from battle.
We should probably get a bit down the road, at least part ways into. There was woods on the way here, right? Or where's
There's the occasional copse, but
We're
the
not.
road through the west is mostly mountainous.
I don't.
Okay.
I have to say I'm not particularly comfortable with the idea of sleeping beneath big fellow, thumbing up towards the statue of of what's his face?
Sidon?
Sidon.
Yeah,
Psyduck.
statue of Psyduck.
Does it give you a headache?
Yes, exactly.
Sorry. Just so that, yes, also that, as I'm not fond of that statue as well.
Enough.
On this then we are agreed.
So camping under the stars seems like a much better alternative.
Alright. You are easily able to make your way up the stone stairs to the pass in the mountains, where you can find a suitable place to camp just off the road leading into the Oracle's temple.
Yeah, now this is lovely.
Yes. Nice flat spot, soft grass.
Open sky.
Who's not first watch?
I will take.
Ervin starts
I will gladly take
making
first
up his
watch.
tent.
Alright.
Raise me, I will take second.
I'll take it then.
Sure, if you want the fourth watch, I'll take that.
And so let it be. Sleep, my comrades, under the watchful gaze of Pericles.
Well, I hope you're
I'm
not-
just gonna go. I'm gonna go to the outskirts of our. Is there any wooded areas near where we are, or like any dense foliage or anything like that? Places where an animal or a person might be able to sneak up.
Doesn't look like it. There is the occasional like ledge up in the mountains, but No sign of anything, any place where somebody might ambush you.
I was just gonna put a possible early warning. Actually, you know what? I'll just go out before I go to bed. I'm gonna fly ahead probably about 15 minutes and set up my hunting trap so that when we pass it in the morning, if I catch anything, I caught something.
Enough.
So, and then I'll come back and go to bed.
Pericles,
Yes.
can I get a wisdom save from you, please? As you take first watch.
Remember how I said the watchful gaze of Pericles? Ignore the 4. 19.
19. After about an hour into your watch, you suddenly feel an immense sense of fatigue, like more so than you would get from a day of fighting. And you pass out.
Well,
Moments
next
later,
character.
moments later, all of you have the same dream. A woman's voice suddenly emanates from the darkness around you. So, your great quest begins. Off to become heroes, are you? Mortals are so very proud. But they're also so worried about everything. Honoring the gods, offending them, war, the future. What can we do to make you worry less? Suddenly the scene changes before you, and you see a man standing with his back to you. He gazes out over a beautiful valley, covered in wildflowers. A soft breeze is blowing, and birds are singing brightly. The woman's voice resonates through the scene again. Knowledge is the greatest of all mortal burdens, don't you think? Knowledge is pain. Ignorance puts the mind at ease. Ignorance makes you happy. The man turns to face you. His face is twisted with pain and despair. Red tears streak his face, and you can see that his eyes, ears, and mouth have all been stitched shut. You suddenly wake, drenched in sweat.
That was weird.
The fuck?
All of us, or just Pericles?
All of you.
Okay.
Atrika sits up and her snake hair very immediately lunges at the air in front of her for a second.
What time is it?
It's about an hour after Pericles started his first watch.
Go fuck yourself, Lutheria.
That was
Wait, what?
unsettling.
Kyra is startled by that particular curse. All I saw was Pericles fall asleep.
Yes, and then I'm pretty certain all of us just had the same dream.
I was bewitched by magics and then accused of being burdened by knowledge, which I have never been before.
That I believe.
Right, that caught me off guard.
Yes, that checks out. Yes, that was very disturbing. Did you all see the stitched face?
Yes, yes.
Indeed.
Yes. Considering our enemies, that could only have been Lutheria, the Lady of Dreams, trying to mess with us at the start of our journey.
For the love of my mother. Kyra mutters as she...
Your mother.
Don't worry about it.
Many people
Listen,
desire the love of
people's
their mother.
parentage is suddenly becoming very relevant lately.
All right, fine. My mother is Metros, goddess of the dawn.
Yeah.
Kyra flares gold and silver in equal measure. And I am Kyra, goddess of music. I'm surprised you didn't figure this out already.
I was under the assumption that you were some sort of mythical figure. I just didn't know which one. Or care, but you know.
Quite frankly, I've been a bit preoccupied with things trying to kill me.
Understandable, and I did have a hand in that, encouraging you to go and fight the giant boar and everything.
I got us here, though.
I mean, the boar wasn't so bad. It was more the rug, really.
So it should be one of your songs that we are set to fill the notes of, yes?
Yes, that is my intention.
Hmm. Is there aught else you feel that you should tell us?
Hmm.
But he pauses and then says, allow me to rephrase. Is there aught else you should tell us?
Kedros, that is a very firm tone to be taking with a goddess.
Sorry, let me double check my notes on Kyra. Because I have details for...
It would have been ironic if one of us was playing a cleric of Kyra.
Well, I guess... Well, there are 3 things I can really think of, Kedros. First, that I am not going to step in to fight your battles for you, unless you absolutely need me to. Second, that Pythor and Vulcan are in fact my brothers. And third, I will never marry anyone who can't beat me in a foot race.
So that makes you my aunt. Forget I said that out loud.
Well, this got very uncomfortable very quickly.
And I mean, I generally hear clerics associating themselves as the children of their gods. Does that technically also make her your aunt? She says, looking at Kedros.
No. No, I am not. I would never claim to be a child of Vulcan. I am a bellows of Vulcan.
Does that mean he squeezes you to make wind?
Pericles, do you have inspiration?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Unfortunately, I cannot give you doubles.
There is just a long sigh, followed by...
I don't know, that sounds like a lot of wind to me.
It's true, it's true.
Kendros pauses, and then, for I think the first time, laughs. Just a big belly laugh. And says, and then pauses for a moment and actually kind of wipes at the corners of his eyes. And says, oh, all right. That one got to me.
I will do my best to make sure more get to you in the future.
He smiles wanly and says, thank you. It has been... I have not laughed in some time.
Well, you probably ought to have...
Speaking as the local medicine woman, laughter and mirth are just as good as herbs in some cases.
This is why I stay so healthy.
I have not had much to laugh about, perhaps I should say.
Well, you ought to have stopped by one of my temples sometime.
I was too busy looking for my own.
Fair and valid.
We all have our burdens to bear. It is up to us
Do
how
you-
well we bear them.
Being somewhat closer to the heart of the mystery, then, do you have any idea what occurred at the Temple of Vulcan in the city of Mistros, and what has become of it?
Nope, sorry, that's not my domain. if anyone, there's a chance that Vulcan might know himself. But I'm not certain. If the Oracle didn't know anything, there's probably no one who does.
Yes. I
Sorry.
have not found anyone yet.
Fear not, Kedros. You are now in the company of great heroes, chosen by the Oracle and fate and all that other stuff. We will find
In
out
the
what
company
happened.
of. In the company of? He is one.
Yes, when you are part of a company, you are in the company. As opposed to
Semantics.
being outside of the company or adjacent to the company.
Well. Well, semantics aside. If you want to continue, well, if you want to go back to sleep, I can take the entire watch if you need me to. I don't sleep much, you see, ever.
Atrika looks down at her belt and pulls off a faintly glowing vial that is starting to dim. I'm going to need to make another one of these for tomorrow.
You see, the thing that worries me about that particular arrangement is the previous statement of will not jump into our battles. And I don't yet know if that means will not warn if we're about to be eaten by something. So, I'll continue my watch.
She can't make a story about us if we're dead.
I
Yes,
mean,
so
the story just ends
wouldn't-
sooner.
Oh no, I'd warn you. Why wouldn't I? If nothing else, it's another verse to add.
I mean, yes, verses about the gods helping mortals are common in tales, especially when the gods are telling them themselves.
Exactly. So, if nothing else, I will at least share a watch.
That is fun.
That would probably be useful, considering I need to go. On most of my watch, I will need to find some herbs to create a new potion.
Well, I can take watch for you. That's fine by me.
All right.
Okay, everyone, roll back over, go back to sleep.
Goes back to sleep.
Yep.
Till I'm woken up from my watch.
The rest of the night passes with little to no. Well, certainly no more nightmares at the very least. As you rotate between your watches, Kyra is sure enough awake the whole time.
I would like to speak to her on Kedros' watch when everyone else is asleep, if that's possible.
Yeah, of course.
Is there, and I apologize for not remembering, but is there an equivalent of Olympus or Dun Manifestin or something in this setting?
It's not. Give me a religion roll.
Sure.
There's something that is not spoken of much, but you might know about it.
Okay.
Uh,
17.
Let's see here. Where's my secrets and myths section? There it is. Well, it is said that when Mitros sacrificed herself to save her beloved city, she did in fact ascend to the heavens. But they aren't given a name in their in the old stories.
Okay. When was the last time, if I may ask, that you saw your brother Volta?
Probably about 6 years ago. He was in Estoria, as ever. and he was working.
What was he working on?
All manner of things. Half the time he doesn't even finish the projects that he starts. He's got a hall set up in the city, you know.
Yes. What was one thing that you have seen him finish?
She thinks for a moment. There was a polished shield that used excellently tempered bronze mirrors to reflect light and vision. It was given to a champion about 3 centuries ago to eliminate a Medusa crime lord.
And you watched him work?
Not the whole time, but yes, I did see some of his endeavors.
Was it a thing of beauty or function or both?
It was designed to be protective in several manners, but yes, Vulcan does usually work some manner of aesthetic appeal into his designs when he finishes them.
Thank you.
Why do you ask? I'm curious.
It is a matter of some debate among those at the temple, those who had been at the temple, as to whether Vulcan is pleased by the use of the items forged, by their beauty, or by both.
Well, when Vulcan gives something out, he doesn't usually do it for no reason. So function is definitely somewhere in his thought process. But that doesn't mean they can't look good.
Yes. There's a small smile returns to his face. Thank you, Greta. I will leave you to your chronicling.
Well, there's not much to chronicle overnight. It's mostly just reading.
So these dreams of an individual with a stitched face and dire warnings. This is a standard night for you.
No, it hasn't been a standard night for me for a long time. Not since the time of the First War.
I see.
Of course, that was back when the 5 of us descended from heaven to confront the Titans directly.
Indeed. And if Sidon is indeed involved, is there anything that you can tell us of which we should particularly be wary that would not violate your decision of non-involvement?
Oh, there's the majority of it is not actually by my choice. The Oath of Peace prevents the gods and the Titans from confronting one another directly. But that doesn't mean I can't give you pointers.
Very good.
The main thing I can think of right now is that Sidon is, and as far as I know, has always been an arrogant bird. Thunder rumbles in the distance.
Also, apparently can't take being called out for it.
That actually sounds like something that may be of use. Thank you, Kara. You have given me much to think on.
Yes, I suppose that I can say the same for everyone else, given recent revelations.
He will nod, stand, and return to his bedroll, although probably will not be getting back to sleep too easily.
Does anyone else have any other questions of Cairo before we move to the next morning?
Not right now. I have some, but I'm still writing them down and getting ready.
Fair enough. You can take your time with those.
I have no
Figure if she's going
question.
to be with us for a while, got plenty of time to talk.
Fair enough.
Pericles has no questions.
Of course he doesn't.
He has one question. What was that? What did you say just now?
Attention span of a very excitable dog.
All right. But yes, the rest of the night passes without incident. And by the time everyone is up and moving again, the sun is up, and you are ready to make the journey to Estoria.
Forward, brave heroes! Along the path to a city I've never been to.
So, just because that's a thing that I can keep track of. He's not so much sad. He's just somber. So no flying for now,
All right.
as he's thinking about the shit that was laid on him last night. Prophecy.
Prophecy, nightmares, Kyra being a goddess, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Once again, it's another 8 hours of travel, but this time heading further to the west, and eventually you come across. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. And eventually you find yourselves looking down at a large settlement nestled between the cliffs of a rocky gorge. The north wall of the town is part of a stone fortress, presumably to protect from any dangers that might come from the steppes to the north. Houses, taverns, and shops of all kinds sprawled down from it, filling much of the gorge. Right now, the southern gates, that you can reach quite easily, admit a steady stream of travellers and merchant caravans. And you can see tile-roofed buildings, well, that one's tough to pronounce, along the road leading further in from the southern gates. Right now, you can see that there is a caravan of merchants headed for the gates, and with them are the first domesticated animals you've seen in some time. A herd of bony oxen lumbering along the dusty road. The merchants seem tired, like they've been traveling for a considerable amount of time.
Have we caught up to them, or
You
just
can.
see them away? Yeah. Greetings. Where do you travel from? You look tired.
Yes, we've been moving these to Estoria as quickly as possible, and when you come from a town that's 4 days away on a good day, but at least these will fetch a high price even in their current state. He glances at the oxen, and you can see, Erevan, that these are, well, at the very least, they are undernourished and may even be sickly.
Yeah. Can I just? Well, yeah, no.
Do any of them seem ill, as like in need of any form of medical attention, or?
Give me a nature roll for that, I
Also,
think.
is this the oxen
Not
or
a
the
medicine
people?
roll.
I assume Matrika means the oxen.
I mean, the oxen and the people, honestly.
Oh, well then, sure. Medicine then, rather than nature.
I mean,
15.
I was wondering which ones you meant looked ill or sickly, whether that was the oxen or the people.
Oh, that was the oxen. The people with them just look incredibly tired.
Yeah.
With a
Yeah, both
15?
of them.
Well, the oxen at the very least look malnourished to a degree. It's one that they will recover from in the city, but they have clearly been moving at a considerable pace in a short amount of time. As for the merchants themselves, one of them has what looks like a considerable bruise at his collar, but seems fine. They are in a better state of nourishment than the oxen.
Could I put together a quick just a soothing poultice for that bruise?
Yeah, you could. It wouldn't take you much time.
She will do
And-
that.
For the oxen?
Oh, that took me a second.
Sorry.
She'll do that and offer it to the man, and also, do not push these animals too hard, or you may lose them before you make it to the city. They need nourishment more than anything.
I know that, but they'll have they'll have some time at least at the temple before they join the list of sacrifices to side on. Pythor must really be desperate. Don't tell him I said that.
I won't.
Well, certain gods get greedy at times.
Do you take them sacrifice the Sidon of your own accord, or through duress?
Well, it's mostly that we need the coin, and Pythor's willing to pay. But I have to wonder, given that we spent the better part of a week on the road here, and the mercenaries we hired could only get us so far, thank the gods that we had the foresight to bring them along.
Right. I want to make sure. Maybe I misheard you, or did you say they were taking them to sacrifice to Sidon or to Pythor?
Sidon.
Via the order
Okay.
of Pythor, it seems.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Say that again. I didn't hear it.
Via the orders of Pythor.
Okay. Why? So why would Pythor be ordering sacrifices to Sidon?
We
To
don't-
shut him up.
I assume we don't know.
Well, if I had to guess, I'd say he just wants to appease the Titan, but given that the Order of Sidon has a small establishment here, as far as I've heard, they must have really stepped up their demands.
My fellows, let us leave these people to the rest and continue towards our business.
Apply that poultice to your injury, and it will ease the pain, if nothing else.
Thank you, ma'am. He does a double take when he looks at you, but will gratefully unbutton the top buttons of his shirt and tuck the poultice underneath it.
And
One question: you mentioned mercenaries. Were you waylaid on your travels?
Aye. Centaurs and Cyclopes in equal measure. The roads aren't safe to travel, so we're probably going to be staying here for the next while before we...
Sorry, that's the first time I've heard that pluralization pronounced like that.
Really?
Yeah, like
How is
whenever
it normally pronounced?
I've normally heard it as Cyclopes.
No, I've only ever said it Cyclopes.
I don't think either one is incorrect.
Neither do I. I think they're both equally accurate because it's only ever been a singular Cyclops at a time in any individual story. But
It's only ever one.
Yeah,
so-
fair.
Uh,
I've also actually never heard anyone other than myself pronounce it. So make of that what you will.
After making that statement, by the way, Pericles started walking towards the south gate with way more purpose to his stride than he has had the entire time since we determined we were heading to this city.
Purpose, I was going to say braggadocio.
purpose. Specific.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Ervin will say
Yes,
thank
we'd
you
better-
and safe travels in future as well.
At Kedros's statement, Kyra pipes up, yes, we'd better get after him before he gets lost.
Yeah.
I may have made the wrong potion for today, she says, looking at the celerity potion in her belt.
Catch
So
up
is
to
this a
Americans.
common practice of your fathers, ordering that the Titans be strengthened?
I am not familiar with the works of Pythor outside of calling to his name in battle. I know he was a drunk and a slovenly one at that. I did not know necessarily that certain sacrifices were being made. As I'm looking to figure out where in the city I need to go to bust a door down.
Turning to Kyra, literally no difference in the pronunciation or emphasis. So is this a common practice of your brothers to order sacrifices to strengthen the Titans?
No. I'm just as worried as you are. Though I do my best not to show it.
In their defense, the sacrifice of a bull, I feel like, is small measure in terms of keeping Sidon from wrecking the lands of innocent farmers and civilians. And they are sort of prevented from directly combating the man.
This corruption.
It is
Not
the
the way.
best they can do at the moment, I think.
It may be the best these people can do. He gestures to the drovers. It is not the best that we can do, and it is not what we should expect from our gods.
That is why we are on this quest, is it not?
She has a point.
Let's get inside the city, get a lay of what the town is like for now, and perhaps hold off on. Let's keep doors on hinges for at least a little bit longer.
Let's not make the lives of these innocents any worse than they already are by our disturbance of the things that keep them safe from ravaging storms.
If the Order of Sidon does have a considerable presence here, then that may be something to keep an eye out for.
And if the sacrifices are simply being taken and no consideration is being given from the Lord of Storms, then I am all for kicking down doors and dealing with cultists.
There is only one door I seek to kick down right now.
Kedra squares his jaw, doesn't say anything further, but doesn't disagree either.
The streets grow more crowded as you enter the city proper. Travelers and citizens mingle, exchanging both goods and gossip. There is even at the south gates, there is a considerable presence of city guard. Despite their attempts to present a stoic facade, you sense that they are restless about something. But soon after you make your way into the city, a small detachment of hoplites crosses your path. Moments after you go in separate directions, their leader, a centurion bearing an officer's wearing the helmet of an officer, double takes turns and shouts to you. Hi, you're the Oracle's chosen, are you not?
Yes.
Wow, it spreads very fast.
Yes, holy
How'd you know that?
hells.
That's
Let me check my notes. Yes, very good. Yes, we were.
Go for it. Sorry.
We have been instructed to keep an eye out for a mismatched, I think was the best descriptor, band among whom is an elf with wings and a son of Pythor. My name is Matteo, and I have been tasked to bring you to the king.
I turn and look
I'm
towards
impressed.
Kedros. Is it that obvious?
I like how I like how weird the ones that stand out as he elbows Pericles.
That was my thought as well. Though perhaps the traveling robes do more to hide my aspect than I thought.
I did turn to Pericles and go, is it that obvious?
You mean Kedros?
Or
Yeah,
Kedros. I turned to Kedros, yeah.
Kedros just sort of grunted, but it's not interrupting anybody else.
Okay.
But when the conversation is done, he says, or when there's a pause, he says, "You do look exactly like all of the illustrations."
I've never noticed before.
Come now, Pericles. I find it hard to believe you have not spent much time looking into mirrors.
I don't. Why look into the mirror? Does not show me
Yes,
anything.
that's
that I need to
us.
see.
How can we help you? Servant, step forward.
The
5-minute anime conversation happened behind.
the centurion looks to you, Erevan, and says, "Well, if the 5 of you will please follow me, we will take you to Pythor's palace, and he is less requested and more demanded an audience, so I'm disinclined to go back empty-handed, if you catch my meaning."
That is fine. I was going to demand an audience with him myself.
Let's not make any soldiers' lives more difficult than they need to be. Let's
Indeed, we have no wish to make things any more difficult for you.
This is exactly the thing I'm looking for. Let's go.
All right, Matteo leads the way up through the main road of Estoria, which passes through the Agora that you can see here.
Now that I do know
you-
is pronounced Agora.
Agora. My apologies. Passes through the Agora, which is a massive open-air market. And then...
Because that's where the word agoraphobia comes from.
I've always pronounced that agoraphobia.
Mm.
Words are hard.
I mean, going off of my recent playing of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I would call it Agora, but that's just the
Oh, yeah.
that's just the Greek accent.
Accents are a nightmare to me. I'm working on it.
The Agora.
But eventually, Captain Matteo leads you through and up these stairs here.
How do you do the chain ruler?
Right click.
Oh,
I learned that from a friend.
that is so cool. I'm gonna use that.
You're
Now
welcome.
John has learned it from a friend.
And eventually,
Friend.
Yeah.
Matteo leads you to the once great Estorian palace that looms high over the city. Large windows let in copious amounts of sunlight, which fails to chase away the sense of gloom that has settled in the palace. It is meticulously clean, but there is a sense of, some manner of... Sorry, I'm struggling to find the right word. I already used gloom. Anyway,
Malaise? I don't know.
malaise, that's a good one, thank you. As you walk the halls, you can see extravagant tapestries and magnificent murals of the court's past glory. Precious artifacts that date back to the First War, and artwork depicting Estoria's history and King Pythor's grand adventures. Though those of us more familiar with history will recognize that there is no sign of anything from the past 2 centuries. Yes, here we are.
Matteo, was it?
Yes. How can I help you?
Direct me to my father.
Yes, we're working on that.
Sorry, I thought
He
you
says
were
as he
drive.
keeps walking.
It was one of those things that's like, okay, we're here. Now, let's go.
How does it feel to be, I won't say home, but
It is not home, no.
in the presence of father?
In the presence of man who abandoned me in city and then went on a drunken escapade?
You mean abandoning you wasn't part of his drunken escapade? Kyra muses.
Entirely possible. Though I understand the drinking got worse after certain events.
I shudder to imagine how Pythor's drinking can get any worse, but, well. Let's see here. Eventually, Matteo leads you to the throne room, which is a large open-air, well, not open-air, a large and tall room decorated with
there is actually a family resemblance. Holy shit.
Completely unintentional on my part.
But yes, the room is decorated with... It is spartanly decorated, save for the statuary and the massive throne in the at the far end, backed by a stained glass window depicting Pythor himself.
Atrika looks to the left. They did not get your likeness very well, she says, looking at the statue of Kyra.
No, they didn't. The room is otherwise empty, except for one man dressed in bronze armor carrying a massive silver great axe, drunk out of his mind and attempting to fight the statue of himself.
I was about to say, is he carrying the silver great axe or is he also carrying the massive wine jug?
Just the great axe for now. The wine jug has tipped over next to the throne.
Okay.
He has not noticed you enter.
I look over. I see this.
You know,
If
I've
His
seen...
Highness would bother to sober up for the slightest of moments, he will notice there are visitors.
You know, I've heard of this kind of thing in stories before, but usually the thing the person is trying to kill is a windmill.
There's one loud clang of the great axe on stone, which doesn't seem to have any effect on the statue for some inexplicable reason. And Pythor whirls on you. Huh? What? Who are you?
Though I understand that in your current state, a statue is probably the greatest foe you could possibly fell, though I note no damage to the stone.
Right to yell at me, boy.
You have no right to be standing there right now.
I am a king and a god.
You are a drunken sot and a coward.
Roll me intimidation.
Intimidate your own godly father.
Can I use my inspiration on this?
Yes,
What is
but
this? What is it?
you can use inspiration and divine inspiration after you make the roll.
Yeah. A 19.
You want to add a d10 to that?
Yeah. Is it a D10 or what? How does it work again?
I believe it is currently a D10, but you use it like a bardic inspiration die.
Yeah. So 23.
Pythor, for what looks like the first time in a long time, Pythor flinches. And then he drops the great axe and staggers back over to his throne and sits down hard in it.
And I
Buries his
follow
head in his hands.
step for step. You abandon your son in a foreign city, you fall to pieces letting the woman you love be taken away by a dragon, and now you get into drunken fights with your own fucking statue! As I just march right up to the throne.
Do you know how many times I have lost people to that one God's damned dragon?
Apparently,
more than you care to count, I imagine.
I only care to count the one time because it was my mother, you drunken piece of shit. I'm wondering if the family resemblance has hit you yet.
He looks bleary-eyed at you. Yeah. Yes, I know.
I pull out my water skin and splash it in his face. Maybe this will help.
Blech. He shakes out as much of the water as he can, spraying it over you. And Pericles, now that you're this close, you can definitely smell that there is a lot of wine. That he's had a lot to drink lately.
Oh yeah.
But he does seem to be a little more cogent than when he was fighting the statue moments ago.
At first, I was only angry because apparently people are bringing sacrifices to the Titans at your order. Now, I am more angry because I find you in here jerking off with your own statue.
Kedra steps up next to Pericles and reaches out to put a hand on his shoulder.
I don't resist the hand. I'm just like livid right now.
No, yeah, and to be clear, he's not trying to restrain you. He's just patting you on the shoulder, like, "Go get him, champ." And if you make another stat check, he's definitely giving you guidance.
Okay.
Do I have the ingredients potentially on hand for, say, a cleanse, like just something to help the alcohol flush from his system?
Yes, but you're not sure how well it would work on a god.
I'm willing to try, if only so that this tirade can actually land on ears that can listen.
Fair enough. Give me an alchemist supplies roll.
Wow.
Right.
Just to determine the potency.
Any particular stat?
Intelligence.
While that's happening, Pericles continues on. Now, one would hope
I will add
that you are at least sentient at the moment enough to explain one of these things. I do not dare hope that you can explain all of them.
Pythor straightens up and fixes you with a sharper look. How about this? What if I told you that the Titans were going to steal away another of my children? You'd think that would give me reason to drink.
I think that would give you reason to fight.
I think that
I can't. I literally cannot. The oath of peace binds my hands, boy.
Yes.
Atrika steps up with a steaming concoction. Here, drink this. It'll make this conversation go much easier. I'm sure you're used to drinking things right now.
He takes the vial and sniffs it. What does it smell like?
Probably, it's designed to help clear things, so it probably smells of like simple herbs and probably like mint and honey to make it go down easy for someone who's drunk.
Let me check Pythor's stats. He might not be smart enough to figure out what it is.
So, and mid-handling this drink in response. No, of course not. But that is obviously the only thing you could possibly think of when you only think with your axe and not your brain. You are the god of war, the god of battle. There are others that could fight for you. Think strategy for one fucking moment.
I was going to, and then your friend handed me a drink. He knocks it back, not caring what it is.
Atrika steps back. That should clear things up shortly.
And then he turns and spits up half of it. What the hell is that? That ain't me.
No, it's not. It is a very simple, we'll call it a hangover cure, but it also works on the alcohol.
Well, you got some of it in me at any rate.
Anyway.
Gods above and forfend. So,
I'm sitting right here.
you're not the one I'm calling to.
I love the mid-sentence correction.
Now, what is happening in this city?
The Order of Sidon sent a detachment to my city with demands from their dipshit boss. Again, thunder rumbles in the distance.
Shut the fuck up! We're not talking to you!
we keep hearing that. It doesn't make us any more scared.
Titan demanded that my daughter Honora should be chained to the rock of Estoria on the night of the full moon. And I can't do squat myself to stop him, other than lock her in the dungeons, because she will go to save the city.
Okay.
Doesn't care what I think, so I locked her up, just to make sure she can't get out.
First, I have a sister. Good to know.
Yeah.
Second,
Yes, you do. Her name is Honora.
Second, what's he going to do if this doesn't happen?
Well, according to the missive, which I vaguely remember now, and he glares at Atrika,
You're welcome.
then the gathered tribes of the Centaurs will descend upon Estoria and raze it to the ground.
So you can't fight against Sidon, I get that, but I think you can handle several tribes of centaurs.
He
You are
couldn't
a
even-
god of war.
He couldn't even handle his own statue 5 seconds ago, Atrika.
If you were sober. Though, again, I understand that's an ask.
Then you do not do what he says, and you fight the centaurs. Or you kick his people out of your city, with or without their heads, whichever works best, and you say, fuck it, bring it on.
Not something that is within my power.
You don't have to fight him directly. He's not fighting you directly. He's using centaurs.
Well,
I have wrestled centaurs to the ground before. They're not that hard.
then perhaps you can do it in my stead then.
I will.
How about that?
Give me
How
your
about
axe.
this? How about this, actually? Why don't we deal with Sidon's cultists in the cities while you get ready to kill some centaurs, if you can sober up for long enough to wield an axe properly?
Or, I don't know, marshal your forces!
Aren't going to be enough. Side note, Erevan,
Yes.
as you attempt to lift Pythor's weapon of choice,
Yeah, he's just,
you real he is ignoring you right now because Pericles is very angry and it's pissing him off.
yeah, I figured as much. There's a distraction over there. He just wanted to go over to like where the pommel would be and just see, because I'm assuming Pythor is fucking like 20 feet tall or something like that.
No, he's
15?
human-sized.
Oh, human size. Oh, okay.
He's like
I don't know, I thought
6.5 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
Slightly taller than Pericles.
Which makes
a
a family
full foot
resemblance all the
taller,
more.
I'm pretty sure. I think that makes him a full foot taller than Erevan, though. yeah, it does.
But Erevan, this is basically a mithril great axe, so you're able to lift it,
Oh.
but it is heavy in your hands, and you have no idea how to swing it properly.
Sorry,
Oh, yeah,
how
no, he
tall
wasn't
did you
trying
say
to.
Pythor was?
6'6".
Okay, actually taller than Atrika. I was about to be like, wait a minute.
Hey, you and I are the same height, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm 6 foot even.
Yeah, so same.
So yeah, no, he doesn't try to heft it or anything. He just kind of lifts it up off the ground, maybe stands it up on so that it's the blade isn't on the ground, and just kind of holds it.
So it's like, which is, you've propped it up just in time for me to point at and go, give me your great axe.
And Ervin looks over. What?
Well, you might not need it, because I can think of a couple of ways that you can handle this. I mean, if you want to challenge the centaurs, the best way to do that would be taking on their representatives, which is almost certainly going to be the man in charge. If you were to succeed, you would demoralize them, and I wouldn't have to sacrifice anyone anymore.
Why are the men of Thylea so obsessed with battle by champion?
Spares those that don't know how to fight.
That.
Well, if you don't,
It's
If
also
you-
a massive ego contest.
if you don't want to get into a test of strength, you might be able to persuade the Order of Sidon to choose another sacrifice.
How about we?
I
kill-
have.
How about
I have.
Sorry.
Sorry?
Finish. Let him finish.
I have a considerable number of livestock worth a sizable sum for this solution.
How about instead, we kill the Order of Sidon in the city, and then I go fuck up a Centaur war chief. In that order.
Well, it is ultimately up to you.
But yes, I would fight the Centaur war chief. Point me in his direction.
Oh boy, that is not what I expected.
Why don't we start with the present local threat? Then we go
Yes.
fight the war chief.
So what the first thing I said.
Yes.
Yes. Let's deal with the Order of Sidon first, and then deal with the centaurs. Maybe even by that point, your father will have sobered up enough to be of actual use.
Are you kidding? After meeting this upstart, I'm half tempted to go empty another keg.
It's your fault.
You! Kedra steps forward and points a finger out. You have a child that has done you proud, and he is here and alive and in front of you. You should feel lucky.
Suddenly the anger is gone as I look at Kedros in confusion.
Can I get an intimidation check from you, Kedros?
Can I guide myself on it?
Yes.
You also have an inspiration to use if you want to.
Yeah. I'll do it just with the guidance first. We'll see how we go. Yeah.
Well,
Alright,
Um,
we'll take
roll
three
that
from
D10.
guidance.
I probably will use the inspiration just so it's not god awful, but
Yeah, fair.
You get a 10 on a D10, you get a 17.
So
15.
15.
Not bad.
Pythor seems to be making a habit of flinching. Well, you have a point, Minotaur. But
Pericles refrains from going 2 of them. But
Wow.
it enters his brain, which, I don't know, Kira might sense because she's a goddess.
I mean,
Or
fun
Kyra.
fact: Kyra's step block doesn't actually have telepathy.
Oh, good.
much.
You have a point, Minotaur. But the fact remains that he and I have clearly not gotten off on the right foot. First impressions are a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a first impression. He's like, how old are you, Pericles?
Hang on. Starts counting on his fingers. 25.
Your 25-year-old son should not be getting a first impression of you now.
Well, I can't exactly change that, can I?
Could have for the past 25 years.
You cannot change it, but you can fix it starting now.
You're right, I can. And that's why I'm pointing you in the right direction.
No.
Once Honora is safe, then I will do my utmost to help you.
We will deal with the cult of Sidon since the Oath of Peace prevents you from doing so. When we're done, try and sober up so you can actually wield that axe. You'll need to be a threat to more than just a statue. Soon.
Yep. I know.
Um,
Much as I don't like to think about it,
I
know.
I walk over to where Erevan has stood up the axe. Grab it. Walk back over. And I would like to... The floor is, what, marble? Stone?
Yes, marble and a red carpet.
Is there anything
That is...
softer than marble?
There are stone benches on either side of the throne.
All right. I would like to plant the axe in in one of the benches.
Sure, you can do that.
Like just full on demigodly strength.
Wow.
Wham! Let go of the handle, let it stick there.
The bench holds up, but the axe is not moving anytime soon.
Perhaps at some point in the near future, you will be able to do that to your own statue. Now, point me in the direction of these cultists. I need to kill something.
Well, fine. But I do hope that you don't just start kicking in the door immediately. He will, in fact, point you in the right direction. They have an outpost in the south of the city that can oversee the Rock of Esther.
No. Conversation first, and then kill it.
I suspect the conversation will go as well as anyone could expect, with Sidon making moves on his own, so we might not be going in to kill first, but I don't doubt it will come to that in the end.
Let us go speak to the disciples of this bastard god.
One quick question before we leave. Did they say, besides sacrifice, what they wanted with your daughter, Nora?
Only that she was to be sacrificed on the night of the full moon.
Can I roll religion or something to that effect to see what significance that would have?
Sure.
Me too,
Insight
actually,
would be
could I-
appropriate here.
Could I make that roll?
Anyone can.
Darn it. If you'd said religion, I might have had more there, but no.
Hey,
25.
20.
20.
There is no religious significance here. It's basically just a convenient timer,
Okay.
which is 3 days from now.
Okay.
Come. To the Enclave.
Yes.
All right.
As we walk out, when I get back, I shall be drinking the wine.
As we walk, once we are outside, Pericles, a word as we move.
Yes, Kedros.
We have done you this service. Sorry, go ahead. Do we get
Something-
jumped if we walk outside?
No, something worth noting. Captain Mateo and his squadron of hoplites have disappeared.
I'm not surprised.
Fair.
Is
The
there just a
door's
round shield
closed.
just spinning around on its ring? Just
Not even that. They're just
yeah.
gone.
No.
The door's closed. There was yelling inside. They left.
Yeah, they absolutely left.
Somebody's about to get smote.
No, we still got more out.
I have done you this service when we met several times since. I have said that you resemble your father. I was mistaken. I am happy to say that you do not.
No, I can see the physical resemblance. He has my hair, but I have his.
The physical resemblance is not what I speak of.
And I appreciate the apology.
Come.
I will clap him on the shoulder.
He smiles back at you and says, "Come, let us go celebrate our newfound understanding by minimal attempts at diplomacy followed by much door kicking."
Atrika, you had something?
I was going to say, let us go have a brief conversation followed by a brief fight.
Yes.
Eravan?
I was thinking, depending on how large this outpost is that they have, perhaps while you three talk in the front, I can sneak around in the back and see perhaps what they are up to, what the true purpose, if there is any other purpose to this, or what their plans for the city might be. Plans for Pythor.
I assume their plans are to devour the power of one of his children and then use that to bring the city to ruin, regardless of whether or not he gives in or doesn't. But it does not hurt to sneak around.
Perhaps they have a timeline.
A whiteboard of
Says,
some kind.
as he laughs. Yes.
Let us be off.
Or I can go in the front with you all as well.
Do what you feel is wise.
The address that Pythor directed you to is this building here. It is a 3-story tower-like structure that bears the banner of Sidon on just above the front door, though it seems to have been nailed up to the wall recently.
I will be right back. I have a child asking for milk.
Hang on, let me make a quick preparation before we do this. I will warn, the concoction I am about to take has some side effects. This will make my mental clarity less effective for a while, she says as she downs a potion, and then just the effect is almost immediate. You can see veins across her sort of darken almost black for a moment, and then as it fades, her body doesn't physically alter, but her motions become immediately definably more smooth and sleek as she takes a potion of celerity, and her dexterity goes up by 3.
Nice.
And your wisdom does what?
I have disadvantage on wisdom checks and saving throws.
Is there what we should do to help you while you are under the influence?
I'm sorry, just wisdom, just saving throws, not checks. Yeah, just be on the lookout for mental magics that I might be more susceptible to than usual.
I have a feeling they will have a very specific target, considering their purpose in the city.
1 second. I am hastily cobbling together a map in the event that you do actually get into a fight.
Let this bullshit for 5 more minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
Eravan,
Yes.
if you would like to take off, we will go into the front door.
That may take some time. Not quite in the mood for flying right now.
You have to be in the mood.
Yes. as you have no wings, you would not understand. But yes, there is a
I
bit
have
of
wings. They just only come out for limited amount of time and very specific purposes.
You're not born of sirens.
No.
So yes, our flight is tied to our emotions, and right now I could not be bothered.
I see. I understand this.
Yeah. Anyway, you remember the priest of Sidon from
But I
our
didn't
last
hear that.
temple, who had the emotional barrier to prevent attacks upon him? I will be less able to break through that now than I was prior.
I only remember a face I stabbed. So I guess yes.
Almost there.
It's okay. Now this is so out of character. This is something that I for last week's Gran Terra game, I put together a massive battlefield just in case they decided to have a specific fight. And fortunately, they completely left it alone.
If we decided we wanted to get into a fight with a pirate giant,
Yeah.
By contrast, none of the other groups that I have run this campaign for have ever gotten into a fight with the Order of Sidon in Estoria.
Have they ever gotten into a fight with Pythor?
Yes. You know what? That'll.
I'm curious
do
about
as
what
a-
the stats are of people that yell at Pythor versus people that don't.
We have had a demigod in every group. Of the three, two of them have in fact yelled at Pythor.
Statistically irrelevant.
Let's see here. I know I've got tokens for them.
Also, flying would not be the most subtle of ways to sneak into a place.
I mean, fair. No,
Damn it.
if I recall
Why do you
correctly,
not?
the backside of this building is simply rocks and stones, so flying might be the only way to sneak in from behind.
Where's it gone? Why has it gone? There it is. Very good.
Sorry, and I may have missed the ping, but which building is it?
This one.
It's right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There we are.
Alright.
That's the captain I'm looking for.
I'm debating whether we should be going in weapons drawn or not.
Well, there are two guards that stand outside.
Weapons sheathed at the moment.
They do in fact wear the Sidon colors that you have seen previously.
Is there any type of marking on this building that's underneath the Sidon banner, like what this was before?
No.
Okay.
From that, you can get the distinct impression that this was once somebody's home. No,
Wonderful.
don't do that. That's the one I wanted.
It's a large manor house, the kind that has an inner courtyard.
I think that's the roof, not an inner courtyard. Could be wrong though.
See, is there anything else
No,
I can
that's a
salvage?
courtyard. The roof is the brown.
Yeah, I can see grass. That's a courtyard.
Oh.
Okay.
Well then.
The also there's a shadow halfway over.
Yeah, I'm looking through them right now.
Like if you look at the building a few buildings over, that one is a roof because the shadows go down away from it, not on it. Like there's a little bit on it, but not a lot. That's just like the roof wall. But this is where it's more than half of it is shadow. That's a courtyard. Like this one over here. Also a
Those-
courtyard.
Good. 1, 2, 5. Copy those.
And it seems like the ones that have roofs have a double line border to show where the wall is on the roof. So
Yeah.
probably an easier way to tell which one is a roof and which one's a courtyard.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you approach the Order of Sidon headquarters, the two guards at the door cross their spears in front of you to bar you entry, and one of them speaks up. What purpose do you have with the Order of Sidon?
I am Pericles Ziphius, son of the god Pythor. I understand you're looking for a child of Pythor. I figured I'd make my acquaintances known.
I don't know if that directly answers the question we were asking.
I'm here to speak to your leader, numbnuts.
Very well. Be advised that he is in a meeting right now, so don't say I didn't warn you.
Eh.
But they do set their spears aside, and the guard who spoke up opens the door and leads you inside, up to the second level, and through a set of double doors.
Aravan, are you coming in with us, or did you sneak off?
Yeah, I'll sneak off.
All right.
I'll circle around towards, let's see, this alley right here.
Sorry, one sec. I'm on the wrong map.
Yep. No worries.
Which alley? Ah, yep.
And
I see
then
one.
see if I can kind of scale that, and then work my way around towards an open window, or even one that doesn't appear to be locked.
All right. Give me a stealth check first.
Yeah.
Any sort of advantage for the rest of us boldly going up and yelling at the guards?
Sure, I'll give you advantage on this.
All right. 17.
17's good. Yep, you are unnoticed as you begin to scale the side of the building. Can I get acrobatics to find handholds and work your way around Assassin's Creed style?
Absolutely.
Unless you're a thief, because they get second story work and don't have to make rolls.
I'm not
True.
a thief. I'm a scout, but I will roll.
That is one of the most underappreciated abilities of the thief rogue, aside from their ability to use magic items.
You just have the ability to just climb things.
Yeah, they don't have to make rolls; they just climb because they get.
Yeah, you have a climb speed now. Let's see.
Adding anything to that 13?
No, I
All right.
keep 13.
Although, I'll be honest, the real reason I always want to play a thief if I'm ever playing a rogue is the ability to use magic items.
Yeah, but that's their capstone ability, so it's like, you know.
Yeah. I just love the aesthetic of the thief with a wand of fireballs, just dropping a fireball at their feet and evasioning the fireball while everything else explodes around them.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. It's badass.
You ride the flame out of the radius.
All right. Well, the guard leads you up to the second level, and towards a set of double doors that he simply stands by and states, "You'll find the commander in here, along with the rest of his inner circle, but do be advised, they are in a meeting and will not take kindly to interruptions.
Oh, I'm certain.
Though I imagine my words are going to fall on deaf ears."
I'm certain. You should keep that at the ready. I say, pointing at his spear. As I just walk right in, leaving him to puzzle that out.
He thinks on it a moment, but leaves you alone Though he departs in a hurry, you get the distinct impression he doesn't want to get caught in the crossfire.
One of Atrika's snake hairs just hisses at him as he leaves.
One less guard to kill, boys.
He picks up the pace.
Kedros will follow Pericles in.
Alright, so inside you find that
And I do the
I mean-
I do the Hercules entrance, which is both doors slammed as far open as they can go.
Also known as the Arthas entrance for the Warcraft fans.
Yeah.
the room is sparsely decorated save for a handful of bookshelves and the stairs that lead up to the 3rd floor. Save for a single table in the center of the room, around which sit 8 men in bronze armor, only one of whom wears the long cloak of a commanding officer. The 2 on the far side of the room stand. What is the meaning of this intrusion? Explain yourselves.
I am Pericles Ziphius, centurion of Mitros and son of Pythor, and I have come to parley with those that follow the bastard god of Sidon.
The man in the long blue cloak stands as the other 2 resume their seats. He folds his arms and faces you square on with a look that brooks no sass, shall we say. Meanwhile, Erevan, you find your way around to this point here where you can see in through the window and potentially smash it in case of a fight.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I'll wait. I'm sure I'll be able to hear whatever Pericles is saying. So.
Oh, yeah.
The glass is vibrating.
You can hear everything that's going on in the room.
Okay.
Atrika very pointedly makes sure that she pulls her hood down and steps up next to Kedros and Pericles and just sort of scans the group, snake hair moving slowly as she sort of eyes across the entire group of captains.
Question: Are the 2 of you flanking me, or are we in this order?
That's probably more accurate.
Kyra is just got her scroll out again and is very excited to see how this goes.
Sorry.
I'm assuming Kyra can see me.
Yes. Yes, she can. Actually, let me double check her passive perception.
I beat my own passive perception.
Yes, she can see you.
You
Okay.
I don't see you at all.
Where was I? Yes.
Commander was about to speak.
I'm Commander Gaius of the Order of Sidon. Doubtless you are here to negotiate for the release of Pythor's daughter Anora.
Yes, it seems that the petty threat of centaurs is not quite threatening enough to be valued at the life of my sister. Perhaps you might instead take some fine cattle or maybe a bull. After all, you are standing enough of its shit already.
Stay your tongue, Pericles Zephyr, son of Pythor.
Oh, I don't think he's physically capable of that.
Greater men than you have tried. And women.
Well, that is quite regrettable for you. So, how many livestock are you willing to contribute
One
in Anora's
bull.
place? You will have to do better than that, unless you refer to yourself.
Well, I will not comment on the quality of various men's wives, but because that's what a bull is.
Does Atrika have a rough count of how many cattle she might have seen coming into the city?
Given that you have... Yes, you did pass through the Agora, so there are about 50 that might be available.
And did Pythor happen to give us a rough estimate when he was talking about having plenty of cattle?
Oh, he's willing to offer as many as possible. So 50.
I'm hoping Kedros would have an idea of how many cattle would be appropriate.
Do I have any idea?
How
Because
much commerce has Kedros engaged in?
I mean, considering his temple fashions things for the use and presumably sale, I would say probably not an unreasonable amount, actually.
Fair enough. In that case, you would probably estimate that one ox would probably be worth about 100 gold.
Okay.
So, what kind of price do you think is suitable?
none, which is why Pericles said one bull, nothing else.
It would be
Fair.
cost us roughly, saying quietly to, quietly for Kedros, which is not tremendously so, but that would run us roughly 100 gold pieces.
That's
The
That's
other
way
thing
more
to
than I was
consider, the Pythor is also willing to compensate anyone who is willing to sacrifice their oxen for his sake. I gave a head count of roughly 50 cattle being brought into the city. I am certain Pythor would have no problem paying for as many of those as are wanted.
Surveys the three of you, and
Or this could get violent.
looks
that
like he's
never
thinking
ends
for a
well.
moment.
I am perfectly happy with the second option.
Do not bite off more than you can chew, demigod.
I would say the same to you.
I have bitten off much larger pieces of meat than you in my day.
That's too far. I'm not even kidding.
I get the head of a dragon. That wasn't even a sexual thing.
It sounded very much like it.
I turn into a dragon.
We're going to dial that back, I think. I'm sorry, but
I turn into a dragon. That's what I was referencing. I eat a lot.
phrasing. But Gaius thinks for a moment, and I am inclined to believe that Sidon's demands will not be appeased by mere cattle. However, this does not have to be violent. I have an alternative idea in mind. You might substitute yourselves. The three of you, plus the other one that I'm fairly certain is around here somewhere.
Oh no, we have a much bigger role to play as a prophecy and all. So either you take the cattle or this gets violent.
So be it. Gaius hurls a javelin of lightning at you, Atrika.
Alright. It's a good thing my dexterity's up right now.
Well, unfortunately, that is going to miss.
Yep.
But
That is the way I wanted it anyways.
but the 7 captains all stand and draw steel. Roll me initiative.
Could I, and absolutely understand if this is a no, in response to the lightning javelin being thrown, could I transform?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, that's
Sorry.
Fine. That's fine.
Darn it. My initiative. Why?
And the captains...
Ah, damn it.
I got a 13.
No, I got a 21, but somebody, Commander Gaius, beat me by 1.
hurls a javelin of lightning at Atrika, who just kind of leans to the side and lets it fly past.
And Kyra scuttles out of the way. Who am I missing?
This is what I was
I
talking
think
about.
me still.
Yes, there you are. So 9 points,
Yeah.
17. Oh wait,
Roll
nope,
20.
that was... Nope, my apologies. That was Atrika, not Kedros.
Roll,
Ketos doesn't roll
roll
yet.
20 is doing terrible things.
Heck.
That's why you don't have it yet, because it hasn't been rolled yet.
Yeah, I was trying to roll it, and my computer was like, "Yeah, you definitely wanted to print something, right? Cool. I'll take care of this." No,
Hamster got tired halfway through the data transfer.
There
There
we
it
go.
is.
there we go.
That's the 7 we needed. Alright, sort. Okay, so Gaius has the first turn. Well, this is in no way how I expected things to go. Okay, so
Are you saying I
what's
should have
yours?
grabbed my father's great axe?
no, I'm saying you should have negotiated. Well, he's out of range, so
We're already at a negative stance point with Sidon's legion being, destined to oppose him. So
Also,
point I will just quickly budge everyone into the right
you know,
actual tiles.
they wanted us to sacrifice ourselves. Here we go.
Alright, so Gaius is unfortunately out of range to actively engage with all of you, but that does not stop him from doing things. He will move to there, and yes, Pericles has in fact drawn his ire, but he will throw another javelin.
just a regular one this time.
Nope, another javelin of lightning.
Ah,
He's got a bunch of them. And that's also going to miss.
The shield comes out and just bats it away.
bing.
It embeds in the wall and starts sparking. For a few moments, but that's all he does, at least for now. Erevan.
Will pull out his short sword and his daggers and use the pommel to break open the window. Take a couple steps inside, and as they all turn, whistling, and
Your mic is cutting out.
Yeah, you're cutting it
hard.
out.
Yeah,
Cody.
we're
only
losing you a
feeling-
bit, Cody.
We heard you came in as they turned and whistling.
taking a dump.
Internet is taking a dump. Okay.
Ah, I see.
Lovely.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Would he qualify as hidden, considering he started the turn with everyone being unaware?
Yes, I would say so.
So whatever attack you do from the window has advantage.
And the sneak attack.
Well, I mean, yeah, with advantage, you can sneak attack. And
there we
he goes.
There he goes.
We'll wait for Cody's internet to come back.
Oh, in the meantime, I'm
and there
looking
he
for...
is. And he's back. Man,
Hello?
Hello?
you're still cutting in
Still
and out.
not.
You want to type what you're gonna do, and because they'll be able to see whatever you type.
Yeah, and I can make rolls for you as needed.
Or, I mean, if you type it in the Roll20 window.
I just also have access to the character sheet and
That
can
too.
click macros.
That too.
Turn order goes Erevan,
Then-
Sidon captains, then everybody else.
Yeah. We didn't do great on our initiative. I did really well on my initiative, considering I have a 0.
All right.
Hey, now we can hear you.
Now it's stable. Yeah, my internet is having a fit. But yeah, no, he breaks open the room and will start a low whistle into a somber song and cast Enthrall on everybody, all the Sidon followers in the room.
I need to look up that spell. I haven't seen that in a while.
I will throw it in chat.
Oh, please do.
Hey. What do we have? You weave a distracting string of words, causing creatures of your choice that you can see within range and that can hear you to make a wisdom saving throw. Or in this case, whistling, because you're a siren. Any
Well, he starts singing as well,
Yeah.
but whistling and singing.
Any creature that can't be charmed succeeds on saving throw automatically, and if you or your companions are fighting a creature, it has advantage on the save. On a failed save, the target has disadvantage on wisdom perception checks made to perceive any creature other than you until the spell ends, or until the target can no longer hear you. The spell ends if you are incapacitated or can no longer speak.
Alright, so you are fighting them, so they're all going to have advantage.
Yep.
But it's just creatures that
starting-
can see you within 60 feet, so...
What's your save DC? You use
11.
11, alright.
Yeah.
Starting with Gaius, passes. And the rest of the captains will go... I'll mark the ones that fail.
Okay.
So, alright. Might help if I actually had the right button. So, I'll use... Which one shall I use?
The swirly one.
That one. That one will do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to choose.
Second one, passes. Third, passes. Fourth, fails. 5, passes. 6, fails.
Passes.
Oh, right, passes. Advantage on the save. My apologies. Oh,
No worries.
well, yes. And the last one also passes. Alright, so 2 of them failed.
Hey.
Um,
And that was my action.
Yep.
I would. Yeah. What else can I do as a bonus action? I know that's. I'll just move over to this corner real quick. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We'll move over to this side and start circling around towards the group.
well, those 2 captains are going to go straight for you. That one will move in and...
1 second. I can move half my speed as a reaction, so because of Skirmisher.
Well then.
2, 3. So my speed is 35. I'm assuming that's like 3 spaces is as far
Yeah.
as I can go.
15,
Yeah,
yeah.
I figured as much.
Well, he has a movement speed of 30 feet, so he is going to follow you.
Yep.
There, and he will attempt to... he's going to try to shield bash you.
These guys like their shield bashes.
Well, it's something that hasn't come up in D&D before, and I really like it, so... well, a 21 is almost certainly going to hit.
Isn't it charm? Aren't they charmed by me? Or no, they
No, they
no,
just
they are
have-
not charmed
no,
by you.
they just failed to perceive anybody else.
They just have
Yeah.
disadvantage to perceive anybody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enthrall,
So-
Enthrall is a distraction spell more than it is actually like a
Yeah.
disabling spell.
So that is a... that's 4 damage to you and a strength save, please.
Ooh, strength save. 9.
He knocks you prone.
Okay.
And then his friend moves in. And he will attempt to fill you with stabbages with his short sword.
My
hate
stab.
Savages!
I hate stabbages.
He
They're
has
the
advantage on
worst.
the attack because you're prone.
Does a 16 hit?
Just.
Alright. And he invokes martial advantage for an extra 2d6 damage. So that's a total of 13 coming your way.
Okay.
We might.
Maybe the sneak attack would have been the better option.
We might die here, folks.
The rest of the captains who, well, given that they are all captains rather than soldiers, yeah, there's a very viable, there is a distinct possibility here. They all look to Gaius, who just snaps, "Subdue them," and they rush you.
Kill Gaius. Okay, got it.
Now I'm just gonna move them all in at once before I make any attacks. Does that work for you?
You're not using the flanking rule, so it doesn't impose any
4,
bonus
1, 2,
to
3,
anything.
4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3. We'll start with the one that's going to have a go at Erevan.
Look, they formed such a neat little line for me.
23.
Definitely hits.
He will also invoke martial advantage. Total of 7 damage.
Ooh.
But the 3 up front are all going to concentrate their efforts on Pericles,
Bring it on.
since he seems to be the man in charge here. The one in the middle will attempt to shield bash you. And miss completely.
Our shields clang. I can do that too, you know.
The one opposite Kedros will attempt to stab you, Pericles. 20
20 hits.
for 7 and martial advantage for another
cheating!
2d6.
I'm preoccupied with your friend.
So that's 12 damage coming at you. And number 3 will also attempt to stab you and miss.
Punch down with
Wow,
the
these guys are rolling low. But the last one, the one in the back, will throw a javelin at a Trika.
And miss.
Alright. The Order of Sidon is getting off to a strong start.
I think
powerful,
3
powerful.
javelins have come near Atrika, and she's just been sort of like leaning over as they just pass by her.
Yes. So Pericles, what do you do?
Damn it, 30 feet. He's just outside of it. I wish I had stepped one step closer. I'm gonna get an attack of opportunity as I shift over to here.
You're going to take 2.
Yeah, 2 attacks of opportunity.
The first, a shield bash from the same guy. Nope.
Yes.
The
Stop
second,
trying.
a short sword hits though.
Gosh, stop cheating!
For another 6 damage. He's already used. Wait. Martial advantage is once per turn, so he can do this on your turn as well.
Turn is until you go again.
Then it would have said once per round. Although, yeah, fair. That tracks.
I mean,
I was just thinking, because I've seen edge cases where sneak attack can happen
Yeah, no,
multiple
it
times in a
does.
round.
Yeah, if I hit somebody with a reaction attack, I can apply sneak attack.
can you? I don't think that's how it works.
If I have advantage.
Yeah, because the turn is an individual person's
is it?
go.
I thought it
versus
was-
Yeah.
round.
No, never mind.
Full
No, yeah, he
go
can use
round.
it again. He can use it
Alright.
again. Go ahead.
And he does for another 4.
I'm still up. Alright. I'm trying to... Oh, it's an action. Damn it, I can't heal myself as an action and also lightning breath these guys. Oh well.
Just lightning breath them and let the cleric heal you.
Yeah. Sorry, no, I didn't. Actually, I will be casting that because it's a bonus action. Ha! So bonus action to Shield of Faith on myself, which
AC
increases
up.
my AC to 20, which is going to be useful. And I'm going to lightning breath these guys. I have a
Cool.
present for your bastard god. So they all need to make a dexterity saving throw. DC
Alright.
is oh wait, hang on. I have it right here. DC 12.
Alrighty. Moving in left to right order. That's a pass.
So 6.
Pass.
4 damage.
And a
damage.
fail.
9 damage. So 4, 4, 9.
Takes. Whoops, they are all synchronized. That's a mistake. That's not supposed to happen at all.
Means I hit them 3 times. No.
Give me 1 moment and I will desync them all.
That happens when the bar is linked to a character sheet's hit points.
Yep,
As opposed
I've
to
done that before. Many times. Can't believe for all 7 of them. This is what I get for scrambling on short notice.
It's fine. We're gonna get knocked out and wake up chained to a rock and have to get our way out of it.
The fourth wall shatters, like your
Like your
expectations.
expectations.
Yes, that is in fact Gaius's plan.
So long as that we're not transported somewhere in the back of a cart and on our way to our execution, and then a dragon say,
I mean, we will be at the site of our execution, so the dragon
Yeah.
can come in at any point in time. At that point,
"Yeah,
Okay, so lightning breath does in fact happen. Anything else you want to do?
nothing else I can do. I've used my bonus action and my action. So
Cool. Atrika.
Atrika looks over her shoulder. Do those javelins of lightning look like they're still active, or have they expended their magic?
They have expended their magic.
Darn. Okay, well, this would be a lovely time to have the dual wielder feat, but I don't. Because then I could dual wield. Because then I could dual wield my rapier and my snake hair. Okay. So I'm going to say, fuck it. I'm gonna just murder this guy.
do it.
Bonus action to activate my Crimson Right on my longbow, because that's going to be the better attack anyway, even if I have disadvantage.
Rapier's finesse. It uses dexterity.
It does, but I also have a +2 on all of my ranged attack rolls because I have the archery fighting style. And I will take the shot at point blank range with my Crimson Right. And there are... God damn it, Kyra, you moved!
Sorry.
yeah, I'm too far."
Damn it. Everyone's out of my range. Will a
you
13
have-
hit this guy?
Do you have an inspiration?
No, I used it earlier for the medicine.
But an 11 is not going to hit, unfortunately.
Will a 13 hit this guy if I saving throws?
No.
Damn it.
For the record, these people are wearing breastplates and carrying shields.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Alright.
Damn it, I should have backed up anyway. 2 of them used their reactions already. It would have just been 1. Fuck, god damn it. Oh well.
It's fine.
Mistakes were made.
Ketheros can get over here and heal me.
I feel like many mistakes have been made in this building.
Yeah.
No, none of this was a mistake. We're not gonna sacrifice ourselves without a fight.
Kedros, your turn.
All right. I am going to I stay where I am, but move into I guess with my action actually.
These
I am going to cast Heat Metal on the uninjured one.
these
On this guy?
This one here.
Okay.
these two have used their reaction, so you can move. By the way, if you wanted to move around.
Alright. So
He gestures in that direction, and we'll say, he's wearing metal armor, correct?
yes, he is wearing a bronze breastplate.
Okay. will point at the breastplate with his spear. So remember the heat of the fires that forged you, and cast heat metal. Which does.
I'm not going to heal your 2 very low health companions.
I can do that as a bonus action. This on my action.
Healing word. You can't do heat metal and healing word in the same turn.
That is a very fair point. All right, never mind. I'm going to use healing word.
All right.
Is
That
heat
guy
metal
takes
not
his
a-
8 health back.
Is heat metal a spell? Yeah, heat metal's a spell, not a cantrip. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it were a cantrip, it would be busted.
Oh.
Yeah, it would be. It's pretty busted as is.
Fair.
But
Which is why my NPCs never have it.
sorry, I always forget I can't do 2 spells unless it's a cantrip.
This is why bows are conveniently often made of wood.
This is actually also why I should take Cure Wounds instead of Healing Word. But I am going to cast Healing Word at 2nd level on Pericles because he is the worst off currently, right?
Well, Aravan's at 3, but
Oh, well,
Aravan might.
Aravan's also a rogue and can disengage and run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I'm the recipient of more aggression at the moment.
And
If I'm not at minimal health, am I even roguing right?
also, Aravan goes before the captains go again.
I don't know why. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so a grand total of 6. I rolled a 1 on my first one.
So 6 towards me.
Yeah. And then I'm going to just use my action to attack the one in front of me.
The answer
Alright.
is yes. I shouldn't have this much little health.
You also have a healing potion, though, Aravan.
Yeah.
2 of them, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Can I toss a healing potion to Pericles?
I wouldn't. My hands are full.
I mean, do they have to be imbibed? Or can they?
Yeah, they have to be imbibed.
Can I christen Pericles with a healing potion?
Unfortunately, no.
You can move over to me and shove it in my mouth, though.
I did once write a homebrew subclass that could do that because they specifically stapled vials of healing potion to arrows or crossbow bolts. But unfortunately, you are not one of those people.
Man, like you.
I'm going to shoot you with healing.
I would take to get to you. I would take a ridiculous amount
You
of
wouldn't
X
because these 2 have already used their reactions.
Yep,
They
they have.
can't attack you. Right? That's what I was saying.
Fair.
They tried
Then
to hit Pericles.
then I will circle around to this guy, and I will hand the healing potion to Pericles.
I take.
All right.
And then, is that my action, or do I still have an action?
I'm gonna say you still have an action.
Yeah, that would
Okay.
just be an interaction to pass a healing potion around.
Yeah.
If you wanted to feed him the healing potion, that would probably be your action.
Yes, it would.
How long? This is very meta, but it's. Yeah, I probably ought to. It's a little while till it's your turn again.
His
So-
turn is directly after the captains.
What are you
So
talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. So
I'll be fine.
making this new like family dynamic very weird. Kenra is like, all right, here comes. What would it be? Open the nest. Here comes the dragon.
Don't make this weird.
This worked very well with my children. Just drink. It's 2d4 plus 1.
2 plus 2.
All right, 9 more
Dang.
points. Okay.
Almost back to full. And now I've got better AC. They'll still hit me because it doesn't matter how high my AC is, I always get hit.
Well, that was your action, so it brings us round to Commander Gaius.
Can't throw
Well,
lightning javelins without hitting his own people now. Ha ha!
don't be so sure.
Don't be so sure that he cares about his own people, I guess.
Well, what's the range on that? Okay, that's 5-foot range. That's fine. So he is going to move up 5. No, 8. Move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And he will make 3 spear attacks against you, Pericles.
There we go. Bring it on.
Swing 1. 26.
Damn it. See? Exactly what I was talking about. Yes, that hits.
That's another 8 damage coming at you.
Okay. And
Swing
I need to
2.
hang on, I need to make a con save.
20. Oh, right, you do for Shield of Faith.
Yep.
I always forget about that.
Succeed.
Yes. 27 hits. For another 11.
Succeed.
Succeed. And swing 3. 25.
It won't matter.
Under 20 on any of those attacks.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah.
For this one, rather than impale you on it, he flips it around and smacks you in the back of the head with the butt of the spear.
I am unconscious.
Yes, you are. But you are in no danger of dying. Gaius turns to Kedros, who seems to be the second most outspoken of the 4 of you. With the spear pointed at Pericles.
That's assuming a lot, considering Atrika was the one doing most of the talking during that negotiation.
Fair enough. Let me reshape reality a little bit. Gaius looks over at Atrika while keeping the point of the spear directly pointed at Pericles' throat. You have a choice. Stand down or die.
Atrika looks at Kedros and Erevan.
Erevan is on the ground with 3 people over him.
Yeah.
Blade's drawn, but still surrounded.
Yes.
Atrika looks over the situation, looks over her shoulder at Kyra, with sort of the, do you want to help or are we on our own here?
Kyra looks a mixture of conflicted, concerned, and like she's doing her best to hold herself back.
Right. Peace oath. Can't directly intervene here. Atrika looks over at Kedros. Fight another day?
Indeed, we serve nothing by being destroyed.
Atrika sets her bow down.
The captain next to Pericles kicks the sword away. As
Could I say that even while unconscious, he does not, like, the grip doesn't lessen on the sword? Like, you have to wrestle it away. Like, he tries to kick it, it's still there.
It takes a while to get the sword out of your hand before the captain can properly disarm you.
Because I feel like, son of the god of battle, you don't let go of your weapon. Even in death. Like... It's like, kicks the sword, it doesn't leave the hand. Ah, god damn it. Just wrestle the fingers open.
The rest of you who are still conscious are, in fact, forcibly disarmed of your weapons. Erevan, in particular, was given a thorough search. Just in case.
Fortunately, no one can actually take one weapon from me.
No, but they can. No, but they can tie your hair back with a manacle. But once you are all divested of your weapons, Gaius surveys the scene. Very well. Seems the fates have made this decision for you. You will be sacrificed in Anora's place on the night of the full moon. But this is not to say that we are not ungracious hosts. You will stay with us until the appointed time, and we will make no move to harm you until then, unless you draw steel against us. And that time we will not hold back. And there, I think, is where we're going to end the session for today.
Say goodbye, everybody.
We did good, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh boy.